The Mystery of Dead Mountain. The Mansi, an indigenous ethnic group living in the West Siberian region of Russia, called this area Kolit-Syakhl in their language. Kolit-Syakhl, directly translated, means Dead Mountain. The name may have a mythological or practical background. It may have been given geographically because of the harsh weather conditions, sudden snowstorms and freezing cold in the region. In Mansi culture, certain places are known to be considered spiritually inauspicious or sacred. The name Dead Mountain may perhaps reflect a belief that the mountain is either cursed or sacred. The name Dead Mountain may be a reminder of accidents or deaths that have occurred in the area in the past. In any case, the mountain was ominous for the Mansis. Igor Dyatlov. It was one of the harshest days of winter. On January 23, 1959, a team of 9 climbers led by Igor Dyatlov from the Ural Polytechnic Institute was ready to embark on an adventurous journey. Their plan was to cross one of the most difficult routes in the Ural Mountains and reach Mount Gora-Otorten. They were up for the challenge. Because they were not just a group of students, they were experienced climbers. However, this journey would be their last. The first days of the journey, Dyatlov and his friends started their journey by train in high spirits. Laughter, jokes, and the excitement of the journey were reflected in every frame of the photographs. They were determined to have an adventure under the white blanket of the Ural. But Yuri Yudin, one of the team, was unable to continue due to health problems. As he said goodbye to his friends, Yudin felt bitter, but kept his cheerful demeanor and said, "I will definitely be with you on the next trek." However, he would never see his friends again. Arrival at Dead Mountain. On the night of February 1st, 1959, the team camped on the slope of a mountain called Kolit-Syakhl. It was an interesting decision to choose this windy slope of the mountain, because they could have camped closer to the wooded area. However, their leader Dyatlov had decided to stay here for an easier hike the next morning. The weather was deteriorating rapidly. The wind was howling around the mountainside and the temperature was dropping steadily. During the night, the members of the group prepared to sleep inside the tent. One of the last lines they wrote in their diaries was, "The wind is scary, but the camp seems safe. We will leave tomorrow morning." But that morning would never come. Escape from the tent. The group experienced something terrible that night. No one knows exactly what happened, but one thing is certain. The tent was torn from the inside and the band members fled outside in panic. Some ran out in just their underwear, others barefoot. Snow, wind, and freezing cold were waiting for them. As they ran away from the tent, no one looked back. What had they seen or experienced that made them act with such fear? Discovery of bodies. On February 12th, when the group expected to return did not return, authorities were alerted. After days of searching, the first bodies were found on February 26th. Rescuers were horrified to find the group's tent on the hillside. The tent had been torn from the inside. It was as if the group had realized that they could not protect themselves from danger inside and had sought refuge outside. About 500 meters below the tent, near a cedar tree, the first 2 bodies were found. Yuri Doroshenko and Yuri Krivonishenko were there in only their underwear. They had made a small fire with them, but it was not enough to ensure their survival. Nearby, the bodies of the leader Igor Dyatlov and Zeneta Kalmogorova were found. They too seemed to have fallen while trying to get back to the tent. But the most frightening findings came 2 months later when the snow melted. 4 people were buried under the snow in the ravine, and the wounds on them were gruesome. Lyudmila Dubinina was missing her tongue and eyes. Her ribs were broken. Semyon Zolotaryov's ribs were crushed. His wounds were so severe they could have been sustained in a car accident. Nikolai Thibault-Brignola's skull was fractured. Radiation measurements revealed that some of the bodies had abnormal levels of radiation on their clothes. Scary tips. Investigators made other strange discoveries at the scene. Footprints showed the group exiting the tent in order. This gave the impression of a controlled exit rather than a panicked flight. Tree branches were broken, as if someone had tried to climb the tree. Nearby witnesses said they saw orange lights in the sky that night. Theories. Dozens of theories have been put forward to explain the Dyatlov Pass incident. Some of these include avalanche theory. The group may have rushed out thinking that a small avalanche would damage their tent. However, no avalanche tracks were found, and the area where the bodies were found was not affected by the avalanche. Military experiment. It was recently known that the Soviet Army was conducting secret weapons tests. The glowing lights could have been the result of these tests. Supernatural powers. The local Mansi people believed the area was cursed. There were also theories about UFOs. Psychological effects. The freezing cold and low oxygen levels may have caused the group to hallucinate and make irrational decisions. The story that remains a secret. Today, a memorial at Dyatlov Pass keeps the memory of these young climbers alive. But no one has ever been able to conclusively explain the causes of the tragedy. Each new clue has raised more questions. The Dyatlov Pass incident remains one of the greatest mysteries of history.